Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and furthermore welcome back to yet another exciting figure review, taking another dive into this really cool Marvel Spider-Man Venom-versus line. And we can see this really cool Venom figure. He's got the wings, and I really like how these wings are like akin to like a dragon. That's pretty sweet. But you can see, Spider-Man there getting consumed by the Venom symbiote. He's about to become Black Suit Spider-Man. Marvel Spider-Man, Venom-versus logo here with, like, the symbiote goo. And then I really like the effect of the blue and purple spider webs. This orange and yellow kind of comic book interior for the inside of the bubble, the figure there. The epic world of action. You see Venom, glamour shot of the figure, and this really cool, like, half and half of Venom and Spidey. Symbiote goo. Back, you can see the three figures in the set. Venom with the wings, Spider-Man with, like, I don't know what's going on there. He's got, like, symbiote armor. He's got symbiote bracelet cuff armor, and then symbiote swords, and then Venom is, like, looking over his shoulder, like in the Venom movies, where he, like, sprouts out from the shoulder of Eddie to talk to him.
Okay, Cassidy gonna give you the scoop, right?
Which I think works better than just having Eddie be schizophrenic and just hear Venom's voice in his head. And then you got the weirdest figure in this line, but actually the one that I kind of think is cool as well, is Miles turning into Lasher, or at least that's what I would assume that is. This green symbiote, all these spiky tendrils, long-ass tongue that's, like, longer than his body. And he's got what looks like these bundled up balls of webs, maybe some sort of web projectile or bomb in the world that these figures inhabit, but pretty cool. No story, no nothing, just, the three figures. And, of course, the figure that we have here in box. With that being said, I'm going to take a few minutes to get this guy unboxed. Don't go away. There's more figure review to be had. Alright, here is Venom, and he looks really cool. So you can see he's done in this very metallic, glittery, dark blue plastic, and then he's got some light blue marbling. Really cool. I like the colors on that, and he's got some veins and muscles, looking really cool. I like the tarantula emblem on his chest. It's different. It's not what we're used to. It almost looks like some sort of parasitic creature.
You're not even here, are you? I'm just seeing things, just not real. You're in my head, because you're just a parasite.
Parasite?
Which kind of makes sense for Venom here, given that he is a parasitic alien species that imbues its host with super strength and all kinds of supernatural abilities, but as well, gets nutrients from the host and, lives with the host to survive in Earth's atmosphere, right? But really cool. I like the spikes, like the symbiote spikes he has on his shoulders there. I love the eyes here, how they're more spiky and kind of more edgy. He's got sharp claws. Really cool. See his wings here. His wings are not articulated at all. They just kind of sit there. But the wings are nicely detailed. The membrane looks nice. There's almost like a armored scooting here, like a spike on the end here, and there's some spikes here at the top. And then you turn the figure around, and you can see it's literally just a backpack, right? It's like a backpack, similar to what the Falcon has, a mechanical backpack that gives him huge wings, right? Which is cool. And you can actually take off the wings here if you just want to have Venom. Alright, so yeah, you can take a look at the wings here, and yeah, it's literally just a backpack that he wears to give him the wings. I don't know if this is specifically supposed to be like actual wings that are coming off of his body, or if this is some sort of like augmentation that he has. But that can kind of be like a separate entity. That's cool. But I'm going to take the wings off for now so we can go into his articulation. This looks really cool. So his head can do the exorcist, so it can swivel. And it does not move up and down, it just swivels. His arms can fully rotate. And they can move out about that far. The spikes and symbiote goo on the top kind of get in the way. But there's something you can do. Obviously, you see his arms can bend, so they're on a double joint that moves up. That's on both sides. They're on a double joint. And they can fully rotate. So that's pretty cool. His legs move up that far and move back that far. They can move out. He does have a joint here in his knees. Moves out, back and forth, and moves like that. So, pretty cool. And I think it's good to do the articulation with him just in his regular Venom form. And this is cool because in the comics and in the Spider-Man Insomniac game, Venom does not always have the wings. The wings only appear when he needs to be airborne for whatever reason. For whatever the plot demands, right? So you can have Venom just, himself. And then, he can add the wings onto him when he needs to fly. And they literally just, right here, you can see that hole in his back. They literally just peg into his back here, right? Pegs into his back. And Venom flies, right? But this is cool. And this is not something that was made up for this toy line, the Venom-versus toy line, right? He has donned wings before. It's usually a temporary thing, but, he had wings in some of the comic books. And he had wings in the Spider-Man Insomniac games. He temporarily had those.
That meteorite. You took it from us.
So, he does get wings from time to time. It's not a very common thing, but, given that he is a symbiote, he can change and morph his body into specific shapes. So it makes sense that he'd be able to, use that ability to change parts of him into, big, huge wings, which just is really metal. I guess we'll go into some comparisons with this guy. This has got to be one of the coolest figures, ever for Venom. Alright, first up for comparison, here is the Venom with the wings from the Venom-versus toy line, next to the previously reviewed Venom-versus figure. This is the Venom-versus Stretch Attack Venomsaurus Rex. And these guys look really cool next to one another. I also like how they're different, Venom is still really dark and almost black, but he's this kind of metallic bluish black color, whereas the Venomsaurus Rex is literally just a matte black. So, there's some variety here. Here is the Venom-versus Winged Venom with the Marvel Ultimate Spider-Man Venom. Venom-versus Winged Venom next to a Marvel Legends movie Venom figure. Venom-versus Winged Venom next to the Bend and Flex Venom. And finally, Venom-versus Winged Venom next to a Marvel Spider-Man 2 Insomniac Gamerverse Scream Funko Pop. But I really like this guy. I think he's like one of the coolest Venom figures. I don't think we really have a whole lot of winged Venoms. I think we have the Funko Pop Venom with wings, which was based on the comics, and then we got a Hot Toys Venom with the wings. I think from the Insomniac Spider-Man 2 game. But this is kind of more affordable, obviously aimed at little kids. But this is cool. Like, I would still get this as a collector. I mean, I am a collector, right? So I have this guy. And he's a welcome addition to the collection. He's nice. There's nothing really negative to say about it. I mean, I wish that his wings were more to his back and not just like a weird backpack. But, it's still a nice figure. I still like it. I think he's cool. Venom looks really cool in this design with like all the spiky tendrils on his shoulders, and the new design for the tarantula. Eyes are slightly different and the wings are cool. Yeah. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed my look at the brand new, at the time of this recording, Marvel Spider-Man Venom versus Winged Venom.